Welcome to the Community Difference Frisco. Powered by the Difference Media LLC. Hosted by Brian Poduska. And sponsored by Real Property Management Focus. Certainty Home Lending. Patterson Insurance. Stewart Title. The Frisco Fighters Arena Football Team. Total Care. PBJ Mortgage. Smart Safe Retirement. Gaston Investments and Development. And by Team Watson Redeemers. The Community Difference Frisco
was created to serve as a platform for local leaders and business professionals to showcase their expertise, values, and commitment to their community. Overall, the podcast aims to create a stronger sense of community in North Texas by highlighting the often overlooked or unnoticed good work being done by local leaders, businesses, and professionals.
So sit back and relax as our host, co-host, and their guests share inspirational stories, experiences, thoughts, and insights about being a professional, along with the opportunities for our businesses to serve our communities in very special ways. Because the Community Difference Frisco starts now.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. I am Brian Poduska, the host of the Community Difference Frisco show. You are watching episode 3 of the show, and I am super fired up today for our guests. So we're going to bring them on here shortly. But if you haven't seen the show, basically what we are doing and what we're all about here on the Community Difference Frisco show is highlighting leaders in the Frisco community. So those are business leaders, entrepreneurs in the community of Frisco, political leaders in the community of Frisco, nonprofits in the community and surrounding communities of Frisco, Frisco ISD leadership, and sports. We are Sports Town USA. The moniker is appropriate here for Frisco, and one of our co-hosts today is living that in person. So without further ado, Lennon, let's bring on our co-host and say hello. There's Chance. All right.
How's it going? Happy to be here.
Hey, happy to have you guys on our, I'll call this our Christmas edition. So
sounds good.
Podcasting a little bit before Christmas. I'm wearing my festive Clark W. Griswold 00 Blackhawks jersey from the Christmas Vacation movie. I'm fired up for this show, especially right around the holidays here. It's episode 3. It's the first time I've got you guys on as co-hosts. So let's do a quick around the horn and just introduce yourself. Tell us what you do. And then we'll introduce your guys' guests, bring them on board as well. So I'm just going to go around the horn. Chance, we'll start with you.
Hi, I'm Chance Post. I'm the Director of Marketing for Total Care Emergency Room.
Awesome. Jacqueline, go ahead.
I am Jacqueline Kreider, Managing Partner of PBJ Mortgage, where we are making mortgage simple. Simple's making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Awesome. Love it. Kendra.
I'm Kendra Kennedy with Stewart Title. I sell all over Collin County and love to connect with realtors and lenders and get them connected to their vendor partners so they can thrive and survive in 2024.
We're going to need that in 2024. Andre, what's up, my man? Say hello.
Hey, how are you guys? My name is Andre Coles. I'm the head coach of the Frisco Fighters indoor football team.
And he is our resident representative of sports in Frisco. So he did promise, and I'm putting this on the record now that we're on air. We were talking beforehand. I will be representing the Frisco Fighters, when I get a jersey from Andre. So
I got you.
Awesome. Well, hey, guys, once again, thanks for joining today. I'm excited to meet your guys' guests. Real quick around the horn. But actually, you know what? Let's introduce a guest first, and we can get them involved in the conversation. We'll go in the same order since it's the same order on my screen. Chance, you have a guest today, my friend?
I do not have a guest today.
Oh, you know what? I'm sorry.
That's easy.
You because you are, just the roundabout way here. Chance has actually slid into an open spot today.
That's right.
He's sitting in for Stephen Pine, so he did not have opportunity to book a guest, but we are pleased that you're on the show today, Chance. So we'll go to Jacqueline. Jacqueline, who's your guest today?
It is Steve Lester, who is a real estate agent here and does a lot of community work with a bunch of charities as well.
Awesome. Is Steve?
Steve is not logged in.
Okay, Steve's not backstage yet. Okay, yeah, I think he was having some technical difficulties. All right, well, let's get to the two that we know that we have guests on because we saw them pre-show. So, Kendra, why don't you introduce your guest?
My guest is Brenda Thompson. She's a realtor, but she's a broker. So she is the broker owner of Home Smart Stars in Plano. It's on the border of Plano and Frisco. But Brenda and I know each other originally through Junior League of Collin County. So we both live in Frisco. So we live and breathe and there, but we kind of work all over Collin County.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us today, Brenda. We'll dive a little bit deeper into your business and everything all about Frisco that you love, knowing that you live here. And Andre, why don't you introduce your guest?
My guest today is Madeline Smith. She is with Project Lean Nation in Frisco, which is a brand new business here to Frisco, and are one of our partners here with the Frisco Fighters.
Awesome.
Well, nice to meet you, Madeline. Thanks for joining us today.
Yes.
Awesome. So, yeah, it sounds like we got a little bit of background noise. I'm not sure if anybody has some background noise going on. Just mute your microphone if we're not if you're not speaking. Okay. Well, so what I wanted to ask before I get everybody on, we'll go around the horn real quick. Who's doing what for Christmas? Anybody traveling? Yeah, Brenda, I see your head now. Yeah.
Yes, I will be heading to Oklahoma for Christmas. So not much of a difference, but little road trip up north.
That's
where
awesome.
I grew up, so it's home for me.
Awesome. Anybody else traveling? What's up, Nathan? Let's go Frisco.
There you go.
Yes,
Well,
sir.
I got a fun trip to Houston also that I'm going to go skiing after Christmas when all the hoopla dies down from Christmas. So
I was about to say
when everybody goes back to work, I'm taking time off. That's how
I'm
I plan.
assuming that skiing is not going to occur in Houston.
No, that's going to be Colorado.
I was like, it can't be in Houston unless there's a mountain there that I didn't know about.
If there's a massive climate change that I'm not aware of, and
Right.
a fake mountain.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm going to
cool.
New Orleans after going to the Sugar Bowl, but that's after Christmas.
Oh,
So,
very cool. Very
to
cool.
watch, that orange team beat the purple team. So
Uh-huh. Yeah, well,
Yeah.
we can say names on the show.
Yeah.
If we want to get in a sports battle, we can do that real quick.
yeah, that's an easy one with all of us. Yep, gonna go watch those Longhorns take down the Huskies. So it should be fun.
Awesome. Andre, I know you're from the East Coast area, right?
Yeah, it's funny to hear somebody say Oklahoma is up north. I'm from Philadelphia, so way up north. But I'm actually hanging around here this Christmas. And then I'll be going down to San Antonio to the Alamo Bowl to do some stuff for the Fighters. So hanging around here this year.
Gotcha. And Madeline, what you got going on?
Hanging around here as well, just hanging out with family and hopefully taking off work for a few days.
Yeah, that would be a good thing. Now,
Yeah.
It is the season to take off of work. Now that's awesome. So I'm personally heading out to Chicago tomorrow, and I'll be up there for about a week. That's our annual trip up there. Looking forward to seeing some family and maybe a little bit of white stuff on the ground. Hopefully some snow. We'll see what happens.
I don't miss that at all.
You know what? Neither do I on a daily basis, but it's nice to see it. Once a year. We'll go with annual, and certainly my kids.
I was gonna say it's fun to play in for about a week, and then
Right.
be done with that.
Yeah, it's when you're living in it day to day, and it turns slushy and brown and dirty, and it's no fun. That's for sure. All right, well, hey guys, what we're going to do right now is take a quick commercial break. We'll come back on the back end, and we're going to talk about what's going on in Frisco. We have a segment called "What's Up Frisco," and we're going to unveil our new sounder this week. So looking forward to that, but we'll do that on the back.
What's up, Frisco?
There it is. Boom. All right, hit the commercials, Lyndon. We'll be right back. Or maybe we'll just roll. That's cool.
That's hilarious.
All right, well, we are a live show, so what you see is what you get. We are non-curated, so what we're going to do is we'll just continue to roll right into What's Up Frisco. I'm afraid Lennon might have technical difficulties, and he may he may not be able to play anything in the background. So we did get the sounder. What I'll do, I know we've got a few folks. Chance, I know that you said specifically you have an event coming up.
Right.
Why don't you share that with the group?
Yeah. So January 17th, we've got a networking event with the Texas Legends, and I've got the Party Plaza. So it's going to be a big event with the Legends people, with all of the people that do My Networking, Total Networking, all the different listeners, all the different networking groups, the networking podcast. Everybody's invited. It's free tickets. So I'll have a link. I don't have it yet, but I'll have a link for free tickets. Parking in the garage is $10. There's free food. It's a family. You can actually bring your family if you want to. If you've never been to a Legends game, they've got, bounce houses. They've got all kinds of kid events, and you can see from the Party Plaza, you could actually see your kids running around the whole arena. So it's a pretty fun, kid-friendly, safe environment. Took my kids a few weeks ago, and they had a blast. So it's going to be Wednesday, January 17th, 5:15, and you'll get there an hour and a half before the game starts. And then you can stay for the game or you can leave. But it's a super fun event. So I'll get more information out to all the groups once we get the flyer done and all that good stuff.
Okay, and you heard him say any difference listener is invited. So that means you, if you're watching this show, you're invited. Right. And I can second that. Those Legends games are awesome, and they run a great networking event. So it's a great combination of two great things. So check it out. All right, who else? Andre, I know you got something.
Yeah, so we actually are hosting our second tryout here at Sports Academy in Frisco. We'll have that here in late January. And then to piggyback off of the Legends, we actually play in the same building, on the same concourse as the Legends. And our first home game is a little further down the line, but our first home game will be March 22nd versus the Tulsa Oilers. And our theme for that game is kind of the Red River rivalry. So we'll have the Texas versus Oklahoma theme kind of going on. So come to Chance's event to see the arena, and then come back and see us in March for our game.
Coach, do you have any 54-year-old players out there?
We don't.
Come out? Okay.
We don't. There's a first time for everything. If you feel like you can hang, we'll let you come out.
Okay. All right.
Debbie Watson, chime in. Hi, Debbie. Thanks for commenting. And so the tryout is when, Andre?
It'll be late January. So over at Sports Academy in Frisco, that's where we hold all of our practices. They are part of Baylor Scott White, and they just got a brand new turf laid out. It's right across the street from the Star. So if you ever drive by and see kids out playing on the turf, Sports Academy lets anybody come out there and run around. They are our host for our practices. So as soon as that turf is done and we can run around on it, we'll have our second tryout there late January.
Okay, I've blocked out my whole late January.
I
may be there.
Brian, we'll get in shape. You and I will start practicing. We can get out there.
Tell you, man, I've been training. I'm ready. Put me in, coach. You can use me. I'm 6'5". Used to play basketball a long time ago. Speed is not there, so yeah, I'm sure you could put me a tight end or something.
We'll figure it out.
All right, deal. Cool. Anybody else have anything else in Frisco? Because if not, I've got a couple events that I want to highlight.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We actually, the date will be to be determined. We can share that, but we do want to do a vision board workshop for the new year. So I would say mid-January, y'all can come in the store. We'll have the supplies. We'll have some shake samples. And that will be a really great way to set some intentions for the new year.
That's awesome. Love it. That is a great way to roll into 2024.
Yeah.
So that's fantastic. Love it. All right. Well, I have something I want to mention. We talked about it in the first show as well. But this is an event that's going to be hosted at Verona Villa. Jason Young owns Verona Villa. He was on our first show. But this is a Miss Frisco Texas Scholarship Pageant. There's some fundraising going on right now, but it's for scholarships for young women. The pageant itself is open to young women ages 17 to 25 years old. The contestants will be selected live at NAC Theater. So that's downtown Frisco, right by the railroad tracks. That'll be Friday, January 19th. And the pageant itself takes place on February 17th, like I said, at Verona Villas. So look that up. There's, I believe, a website, and it's also on Facebook. Just search up Miss Frisco, Texas pageant, and it will come up, and there's more information there. Also, if you've driven by downtown Frisco, you've seen the awesome light show that's going on in the square. They've also got some other stuff. They've got an ice skating rink there. They've got Santa, light tunnel, horse carriages, all that fun stuff. Go down there if you get a chance. It's pretty cool atmosphere for sure. And then you can go to the ER afterward and see Chance after you skate on the ice downtown and fall and hurt yourself. Because
I recommend everyone try ice skating in Frisco.
Well, and the venue that you guys play in, Andre, and that you've talked about your event being at, I know have open skates. We've done them before. The Frisco Ice Hockey Association, the teams in Frisco, they're doing fundraising. Bring a can for donation of food, and you can skate for free. So I don't have the data on that. That just sparked my mind because my son used to play for Frisco Ice Hockey Association at Frisco High, and that was their fundraiser every year. And inevitably, somebody would always fall down and get hurt. So it's good business for the ER.
That's right.
All right, I just saw Lennon chime in on the chat here, so I think he's back online. And with that, we owe our sponsors some time. So, Lennon, let's go ahead and hit the commercial.
The Community Difference Frisco is made possible by Brian Poduska, owner of Real Property Management Focus. Paul Fisher, loan officer with Certainty Home Lending. Steve Wood with Smart Safe Retirement. Kendra Kennedy with Stewart Title. Stephen Pine, partner with Patterson Insurance. Matt England, director of corporate partnerships, and Andre Coles, head coach of the Frisco Fighters Arena football team. Debbie Watson with Team Watson Redeemers. Sonia Lowry with Gaston Investments and Development. Chance Post with Total Care. Jacqueline Kreider with PBJ Mortgage. The Community Difference Frisco. Together, we can make the difference. And now, back to the show.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Thank you to our sponsors and our co-hosts, who we will see in coming weeks. Looking forward to those shows as well. But here's the part of the show where we'll go a little bit deeper and learn from our guests their involvement in Frisco and some of their thoughts, perhaps, on where Frisco's headed. There's a lot of exciting things going on, a lot of growth as it has been over the last 20 plus years. So awesome to have some Frisco veterans on as guests, as well as I love the aspect or perspective of folks who came from out of town. Andre coming from the Philly area. I came from Chicago, so other big cities, but coming here to Frisco and seeing the growth and all the stuff that you guys have going on with the Fighters, Andre, would love to hear your perspective on it. But what I'll do is I'll throw a question out to the group, and in traditional fashion, we'll let the ladies go first. So Brenda, I'm going to direct this question towards you. Since you live in Frisco and have operated in the area for as long as you have, what originally drew you specifically to live in Frisco?
Great question. So I have lived in my current home for 14 years in Frisco. Prior to that, we bought it as an investment property. One of the historic homes in old downtown Frisco. Had that for a while. Actually lived in it for a brief time and then had it as a rental property for a while. And prior to that, I owned and lived in Plano, and my office is in Plano now. So I would say what drew me there is just, I love the communities of both Plano and Frisco, and the community yet being close to everything you need. You talk about that little circle right around where you live and work, and having everything that you need, your daily function items nearby, was definitely that. Now, I will also say in the last 14 years, Frisco has boomed. So there's been a massive growth of population of business, of amenities. We have a little bit of everything. Many of the people who are on here today, you know, their businesses didn't exist in Frisco 14, 15 years ago. So it's been a great investment. I'm in real estate. It's been a great investment for those people who did invest in homes or businesses back 10, 15 years ago. You've seen great equity improvement over the years too. So, and those are still some of the same things that I love. You know, I'm kind of the south edge of Frisco. I love the northern edge of Frisco with the new PGA. I mean, all these and everything in between. So everything that's grown up over the years has just continued to be a great advantage for living in Frisco.
Yeah, no, those are all great points and absolutely accurate. If there's something that you want to do, you can pretty much find it in Frisco. And you know, if it's involved in sports, you can definitely find it.
And isn't that funny? Because we don't, you know, 15 years ago, you wouldn't have thought of sports being a big hub in Frisco. And yet it has grown so much. I mean, we have every sports topic you can think of in Frisco now. So if you like sports, Frisco is the place to be.
Yeah, no doubt. I moved to the area almost 12 years ago. And as I think back to that, the minor league baseball team, the Rough Riders, had they had a well-established foothold in Frisco. But outside of that, I guess FC Dallas did as well. So the MLS soccer team. But since then, the Stars have joined the Frisco Brigade. The Dallas Cowboys of all organizations have joined. So yeah, and obviously the PGA, you mentioned that's a fantastic addition over the last year and a half or so. So exciting, good stuff.
It is.
Well, Jacqueline, I'd like to. I know you're a longtime real estate / mortgage, veteran as well, and have seen a lot of growth going on in Frisco. And you are muted, just as a warning. So tell us what drew you to do business in Frisco as well.
That's a good question. I actually grew up in the area, so I tell this story a lot because it's true. So I grew up in Plano, Central Plano, and I guess it was the early 90s. We had a real good friend of my dad's, and she said, "Hey, I just bought a house. I want you guys to come see it." And we said, "Cool. Where is it?" She said, "Frisco." We said, "Where's that?" We had no idea where it was because at the time, the center of Frisco was right there on Main. And even though they technically butted up like geographically, there was nothing that like touched Plano really as far as like development. And then Stonebriar Mall, by the time I made it to high school, was, open and kind of developed. And it's crazy how much it boomed in that time window. Right. And there, literally, like Brenda said, there is so much to do. You don't really have to go very far and you have pretty much everything. I remember 20 years ago, they said, oh, by probably 2025, almost the center of Dallas will be at 121 and the Dallas North Tollway. And pretty much that's what's happened, right? I mean, we're almost to 2025 and we're pretty much there where so much business, Toyota and all of these things right there on those edges and the $5 billion mile, guys? Is that what it is? All that development. And so it's such a great place to spend time. And you can pretty much do anything. You want to shop, you want to eat, you want to watch sports, whatever you're into, Frisco can figure it out and have it. And even though we don't have the topography, it doesn't matter. You want to go skydiving, you can do the crazy skydiving thing right there at Stonebriar Mall. So there's so many cool things to do in Frisco. And it's sort of the blend of the Texas charm, if you will, where people are still pretty kind, but then you have all the blend of all these people coming in from all different places in the United States. So we're now getting all their cool food, right? So they opened, Portillo's or whatever from Chicago. You probably were excited about that, Brian, when that all came in.
It's not what is it? It's the Portillo's, and it's the greatest restaurant in the history of restaurants. Okay, so
right. I know it's kind of on the border, but like all that, right? It's right here, kind of at the epicenter of where all these things meet. And so they've gotten all this amazing food, and I'm a huge foodie, so I mean I could eat for days. So I'm just excited. I'm like, yes, please bring me all your food, because my husband's from New York City, and he always said, oh man, they don't have enough good food in Texas. And I'm like, yes, we do. And then of course now, like I said, because everybody has come here, everyone is bringing their food, which is exciting to me. I love all the food. Bring me all the food.
Amen, sister. Yeah, Caitlin, how you doing? That's our friend from the Wiley, our host from the Wiley show chiming in. Good to see you. No, you're exactly right, Jack. And thank you for the Portillo's reference, because it absolutely is a fantastic quick serve restaurant. Italian beef, if you haven't been there, just get the Italian beef. Skip the hot dog, just go straight to the Italian beef. That, and top it off with a chocolate cake shake, and you're good to go. All right, so I wanted to shift gears a little bit and just so Andre and your guest Madeline. Madeline, I want to hear how long you've been in the area. Andre, I know you're a little bit newer. What I want to get from you guys, if you don't mind sharing, is what's your favorite thing about the Frisco community?
Yeah, well, I am actually from South Dallas. So
Okay.
my dad and I both are Cedar Hill, Duncanville, but we chose Frisco for our franchise because it is so booming. There's a lot of people that are passionate about health and fitness. There's so many gyms. It's one of the big things that we do, is because we're the nutrition piece, we partner with gyms. And so there's just an overwhelming amount of people who are seeking recovery therapies and to be fit and to increase their health. So we thought that that would be really great for what we do. I also love that even though it's huge, like it is a big town, there is still a lot of that small town feel, and a lot of small business owners who are wanting to collaborate and still wanting to do things the old fashioned way. And so while it was kind of daunting, especially like coming into Frisco, I'm like, this just feels huge, like maybe it's disconnected. But as I have now been here the past year, that really hasn't been my experience. And there are so many people that are so friendly. Like the owner and chef of the restaurant across the street told us, hey, if your freezer ever goes out, you can use my freezer to store your meals. Like, first time meeting us. So that is what I really love, is that while it is large, there is still a lot of small town connections.
That's awesome, and I can relate to that. I guess hospitality, the southern hospitality aspect of not only Frisco but the general area around here. Coming from Chicago, and Andre, you probably know it even more so. Big city. Philly has a bit of an attitude. You don't get that warm fuzzy feeling from your neighbors just because it is what it is. But when we moved here, our neighbors from 2 doors down came over and brought cookies and brownies and introduced themselves, and and they're our best friends to this day. 11 years later, so it's there is definitely something to be said about Southern hospitality, and we'll call it Frisco hospitality for this show in particular. What about you, Andre? So you're relatively new to the area, versus many others on the show today, and many of our listeners. What's your favorite aspect about Frisco?
Honestly, it's going to sound not as exciting because obviously I'm involved in sports, but that is what excited me about Frisco. Coming from Philadelphia, where there's something to do every day, sports related, with having so many major universities there, and then all of the professional sports teams. I wanted to live in a place that felt the same way. So being able to go to a baseball game, being able to go to a soccer game, being able to, all of the high school sports here are so big. That was appealing to me. I love sports. I'd rather go watch a game than spend money to go see a movie. That's just me. So having that available and having it be affordable, also in a safe place to live, was a huge reason why I felt comfortable moving here. So as much growth as it's had business-wise, I think the sports aspect of Frisco leads into the business, and that's one of the big reasons why I moved here.
No, that's awesome. And you mentioned the safety aspect of it. We haven't talked about that much on the show, even through the previous 2 episodes. But yeah, I can't remember which magazine it was or is, but basically has Frisco and McKinney ranked as the top 1 or 2 or 3 over the past 3 years in safest places in the country to live. So, and we'll probably have somebody from the police force, perhaps even the chief of police. We've got some connections to him. If we can get him on the show, we may do that. So, no, that's a great call out, because yeah, Frisco is absolutely one of the safest places to live, despite some of the news events that you may have seen recently. The statistics hold true. So anyway, with that, we've got to jump because we've got a commercial break we got to do. Lennon, if you want to go ahead and hit the commercial break, we'll be back on the back end.
The Community Difference is a new series of shows powered by the Difference Radio live stream and podcast network. This series of shows was designed to highlight the unsung heroes that call our towns and communities home. And we wanted to create a platform that brings awareness to and reminds folks of the goodness that lives within so many of us. By working with the local community leaders, business owners, first responders, veterans, schools, and citizens who want to unite with a clear and selfless purpose, the Community Difference seeks to spotlight the people, events, and activities that are producing positive outcomes, inspirational stories, and incredible experiences. In a world that is consumed with negative press, media manipulation, and propaganda, The Difference, along with many others who believe and support the difference, understands there is no better way to make the difference than to highlight the unsung heroes that call our towns and communities home. We are currently searching for local communities to be the focus of our shows, but before we can launch a show in your community, we need your help. We need you along with local business leaders, chambers of commerces, major nonprofits, online community group leaders, networking groups, etc., to join us in making the difference and helping your community be seen, be heard, and be remembered. So, if you would like to know how you, your business, school, social media community, church, or your favorite nonprofit organization can be a part of this unique and powerful program, reach out to us today and introduce yourself and let us know how you would like to contribute and bring awareness to the amazing people, places, and events that are making the difference in the community you love. You can call us at 972-866-4596 or email us at info@thedifferenceradio.com.
And now, back to the show.
All right, welcome back. Well, so I'm glad that commercial break played, because we are on episode 3 of the Frisco Community Difference, and we've successfully launched other Community Difference shows, specifically in Wiley and Rockwall. We've had one in Denton as well. So what we're doing is basically spreading the love to all the different communities. And I was part of launching the Wiley Community Show, and it's you saw Caitlin chime in earlier. That show is going fantastically well, and had some killer guests on that show. A lot of community leaders. I've learned a lot personally about Wiley that I didn't know. Makes me want to go buy some real estate out there. Brennan, maybe we team up on that, figure out how to make that happen. But anyway, I guess what I'm saying is these community shows are awesome, because you do get base level information on the community, what's going on, who's who in the communities, and that's what I love about them. So we are trying to get more community shows off the ground. So Plano is coming up next, and you saw Nathan Smith chime in earlier. He's going to be heading up that show. So looking forward to having more of those community different shows go. So with that being said, with the Community Difference, and whether it's Frisco or Wiley or any of the other shows, we do have a revolving business topic of the month. So what I'd like to do is just pose that topic to you guys and just hear your opinion on this one. And that is the future of Frisco businesses, small Frisco businesses, in a changing environment, right? We've talked about how Frisco has changed immensely over the last 20 years. Madeline, I'd love to get your opinion on this, since you guys do have a smaller business. Andre, you're a great one to chime in on this too. Kendra, I know you've been in Frisco for 20, 25 plus years. So we have a great host of hosts and co-hosts and guests here to talk this topic. So let's see, Kendra, since you just muted your microphone. I'm going to make you unmute it. You work with a bunch of different, whether it be realtors or in the networking world, you are very well connected, especially being in the title business. Where do you see the future of small or local Frisco businesses? And then also in reference to, we've got a lot of bigger businesses in town. Where's the fit there? How does that work?
Honestly, what we're seeing right now is people are basically kind of we're tapering down. They are being a lot more intentional. They are cutting the fat, trimming the fat. They are being a little bit more cautious and careful going into 2024, because 2023 and anything that was related to real estate was very tight and it was tough and it was not the best year. It wasn't a horrible year. It just wasn't great. And it got tighter and tighter as those interest rates went up. And that affected everyone, from your carpet cleaners to your home cleaners to your roofers to your inspectors. I mean, we've got insurance companies, pulling out of the state of Texas. So you've got so many different areas that's affected that you just don't realize that how dramatic the trickle down is. And even to the people that are like, if you've got these realtors that are usually closing 2 deals a month or 1 deal a month, which is pretty good. If you've got 12 to 24 year closing a year, you're doing well. But if you're doing that and you're closing something and you're used to going to a certain shop or 2 shops and you're buying thank you gifts for your clients, well, you're not doing that anymore. So that shop's just lost that. So I think I'm seeing so I have lived in Frisco since 1992, raised my 3 sons there. And one of the things I love about Frisco is the diversity of everything. Everything is just very diverse, but also because of, you can do anything there, from being a PTA mom to, the charities that have started there. And that was one of the things I forgot to mention was Refresh Frisco. She's having her gala the middle of January. And they have actually, the cool thing about Frisco, that's where Love Packs and Fast Packs and Refresh started. And they've now branched out to other cities. But they ironically started in Frisco. And those are charitable organizations, but they also go to these businesses to get donations. So, but kind of how to get back to that, it's kind of like what we're seeing is just the businesses just like tightening up. Like, for instance, Paper Affair at Shops to Starwood. They had a large area. They were like, you know what? We don't need this big space. We're just going to put just all that stuff into a smaller space. And they had just expanded to the bigger space, and then the economy kind of changed a little bit. And they got smart because they're in a great location, but they kind of got smaller. And that they're just thinking like, okay, we can do more with what we have. And I think that's where all of us are at right now is let's figure out what we can do with what we have and also how to utilize all of our local businesses. Like Madeline, uh, their business and how they're going to, work with all the gyms and all the sports teams. I mean, that's I think what we're just having to get smarter and go old school. And Brenda will attest to this. It's go old school. It's like get on that phone, email, farm. It's old school communication. It's true and simple, going back and following up with people.
Back to the basics.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't disagree at all. I mean, it's just like any other business, whether you're big or small. As costs go up, you've got to figure out how to run leaner, right? Whether it's finding a smaller location, maybe reducing hours, though that's never a good long-term solution. But yeah, no, it's back to the basics. And in my opinion, as far as small versus large business and local businesses, there's always a place for local. And what we've always talked about on this show is support local. So, rather than go to I don't want to bash my Portillo's, but if there's an opportunity to go to a locally owned restaurant, certainly take that. And if you've got a special occasion, book with that local entrepreneur, restaurant owner, party venue, entrepreneur, whatever that may be. we're all about supporting local, and that's part of the reason that we have the show, right? Is to get those local, the local love going, right? So Madeline, being a smaller business, I believe, right? New to Frisco or newer to Frisco. What's your viewpoint on this topic as far as how does a smaller business survive given the changing economy and changing landscape within Frisco?
Yeah, well, mine is kind of nuanced, but it's everything that you just said about partnering, working smarter, not harder, the old fashioned, the walking into somewhere and meeting someone and seeing how can we both collaborate? How can we benefit each other? So keeping it really intentional in that way, but not neglecting social media and the online aspect. That's kind of my background, and a lot of what I do with the small business is the social media. But where I think a lot of people get that wrong is they don't bring that old school interpersonal aspect to social media, especially maybe they are a small business, maybe they're a franchise, maybe they're using a lot of stock photos, or they're only using social media to post but not actually interact, which will actually hide your stuff from being seen if you do that. But yeah, so I think it's learning how to have that balance of building community, but doing that in person and online. And you would be surprised, or maybe you've experienced it yourself, but when you can bring that personal touch to social media and you actually build relationships there, that's just like more exposure for those in person relationships. So I know that some people that are older, or they just have done things old school for a really long time, they can sometimes be apprehensive about social media, or they feel like maybe it's ingenuine, and it absolutely can be ingenuine, but it doesn't have to be. And so I think if someone, and that's really what we try to do, is do heavy hit on both of those aspects. If someone can do that, they're going to see growth. And it's such an easy way to collaborate with other businesses. Like social media is making it easier and easier for you to leverage each other's customers, each other's audiences. You can make a post and invite someone as a collaborator, and now 4,000 people who've never seen your stuff are going to learn about you. And so that is what I think is the future, is like not being afraid to go online, but figure out how to do that in a way that's genuine to you.
So,
Man, you just hit the nail on the head. That's exactly what we're all trying to do as part of this whole networking aspect of the podcast, live stream, radio show, community different shows. I mean, you couldn't have said it better, Madeline. You nailed it on the head, especially as it relates to local businesses, right? Because, yeah, business in general is building relationships. Mm-hmm. And if you can authentically do that through social media and online, that's just a missed opportunity that so many people have. And obviously you can specialize and help them with that, but it's so relevant to what we're all trying to do here at the Community Difference. So thank you for sharing that. That was really good insight.
So Brian,
yeah,
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I was going to say what Madeline was saying too is, remember that a lot of times, like, we're not all perfect fits for everybody, right? Like, I may not be the perfect mortgage fit for every single person, but when they're seeing me, genuinely me, on social media, they can decide if I'm that right fit for them, right? If like the way that I conduct myself, my business corresponds with how they want their business done, right? They want their mortgage experience done. So a lot of times we discount, like you said, you can make it very genuine. You can be yourself on social media and allow people to see you. And it's a free platform, right? Like, a lot of people spend a lot of money advertising, but social media is a totally free platform and a great opportunity to show what your business showcases and what makes you uniquely you, why you got into what you're doing, why you're passionate about your topic, and why you like that, right? So Madeline, you said that you're passionate about health. Like that's why you pick Frisco, right? Because people in the area are passionate about that. And so are you. So they can see, oh, hey, you know what? Madeline says she's passionate about what I'm passionate about. Like that's why I want to seek out that small local business.
Mm-hmm.
And that's such a cool opportunity utilizing social media in that way.
Well, and the businesses also, it's like they need to figure out, okay, what's my comfort level? Is it Instagram? Is it Facebook? Is it LinkedIn?
Sure.
And go after that. And don't worry about, oh, I'm not on all 3 or all 4. I'm not on TikTok. No, figure out where you're most comfortable at and where you think you're going to, and start developing it and go from there. And that's where people get so overwhelmed because they're like, oh, I need to be here. I need to be here. No, get where you're comfortable and go at it and show the real you and accept those friend requests. I laugh at realtors or lenders or other people that have 300 friends on Facebook. And I'm like, well, no one sees you then. No one knows you, so it's like branch out because you are your business.
Yeah, absolutely. And with that, we're going to take a really quick break. We'll continue on this topic on the back end of the commercial break, and then we also have a little rapid fire session that'll be coming up. So with that, stay tuned.
The Community Difference Frisco is made possible by Brian Poduska, owner of Real Property Management Focus, Paul Fisher, loan officer with Certainty Home Lending, Steve Wood with Smart Safe Retirement, Kendra Kennedy with Stewart Title, Stephen Pine, partner with Patterson Insurance, Matt England, director of corporate partnerships, and Andre Coles, head coach of the Frisco Fighters Arena football team, Debbie Watson with Team Watson Redeemers, Sonia Lowry with Gaston Investments and Development, Chance Post with Total Care, Jacqueline Kreider with PBJ Mortgage. The Community Difference Frisco. Together, we can make the difference. And now, back to the show.
Well, damn, we've got some good-looking sponsors. So thank you for sponsoring the show.
We clean up pretty good.
Damn right. Those professional photographs are always awesome. All right. Well, so kidding aside, the topic at hand for the month, what is the future of local Frisco businesses in the changing economy, right? So we've had some really awesome points. I did want to get a few more opinions if anybody has some opinions. Brenda, I see you raising your hand, so I'd love to hear some more opinions on this. Go for it.
Okay, thank you. So I'm going to kind of piggyback a bit on one of the things that Kendra said, and she was kind of talking about, kind of just the market in general. And so I'm a real estate broker. I pay close attention to that and all of the numbers. And what I'm seeing from that will impact us locally is we are seeing from Lawrence Yoon, who's the chief economist of the National Association of Realtors. So there I go quoting, big names and numbers, which are not really my game either. I'm more of a person-to-person kind of thing. But that said, the reports are showing that our decline in home sales has been the greatest since both 2008. So we all kind of remember 2008. All of us here do, or 1995. Now, the good thing about that, because I am the eternal optimist, the good thing is it is expected that we've hit kind of the bottom there. Interest rates are starting to come back down a little bit. All of that is leading us to having a ton of pent up demand. So the projection for 2024, and this is good for all of us because it touches all of us. The projection is that our Texas market is going to be among the top in the nation for pent up buyers and sellers. So sellers who've been kind of holding on to things, thinking, gosh, I've got to get a great interest rate. I don't want to get rid of that. I'm just going to sit here and hold on, are ready to go ahead and move on. And then buyers are ready to buy too. But in Texas, as compared to the country, the number one market in Texas for pent up, or in the country for pent up buyers and sellers, is in the Austin area. Number 2 is our DFW area. And then the Houston area is number 6. And that's out of the country. So we are going to feel that. Now, what I think is good for all of us in a way We are seeing some commercial shifts, and that still goes back to COVID times when everyone went home to work and a lot realized they could do a lot of great work from home. And so large corporations are starting to consolidate their space. We talked about that. Kendra mentioned a company locally too. And so they're kind of consolidating some spaces. That's an open door for other small businesses, though. I think that we're going to see commercial rents come down. And that's an opportunity for a lot of small businesses to get started, and to get started where it's maybe a little bit less expensive than it would have been, say, 3 years ago or 4 years ago. So again, eternal optimist, but I think we're going to see some progress in the way the real estate market and interest rates, and even the opportunity for businesses to grow or expand, or the start of new businesses. I think we're going to see that in 24. And Brian, you mentioned something about the local restaurants. So for local Frisco people, I want to give a shout out to Do a Trattoria, a new restaurant that just opened. I went there. So Frisco peeps, that's at Warren and Legacy, and it replaced a prior restaurant. I have no connection to them except that it's in my little neighborhood. And I went there just a few days ago and the food was great. So if you've been anxiously waiting on that one to open, Do a Trattoria is now open, and it's a great Italian restaurant.
Well, that's awesome to hear, because I drive by it every single day. I mean, it's
There you go.
right around the corner from my house, and it's on my way to the office. So I literally drive by it daily. And I've been wondering, and I've seen cars in the parking lot, so I knew they had just opened. So it's awesome to hear that they've got good food.
It is good, yes.
Awesome, good. Yeah, it's so for anybody who's local, it was the old Black Walnut location right on Warren and Legacy. Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Yep, perfect. Cool. Well, great shout out. I'll have to get over there over the holidays here. I'm in.
I did want to piggyback. I did want to piggyback on one of the things that Brenda mentioned, and really just talking about the small businesses being a little bit more nimble. One of the things too, the new technology with AI is kind of a blessing and a curse, but it is pretty affordable. So you can kind of use that, leverage that technologies for follow-ups for your basic tasks that you do every day. And if you're a solopreneur or a small business, there's a lot of that you can, I would really suggest you really look into it, because it will really multiply the things that you're doing, really like your force multiplier for what you're doing, and give you that advantage over some of the bigger companies. It's a little scary. It can be also annoying. That's why I'm a big proponent of, if you got people constantly calling you or texting you on AI, you kind of can figure it out. But there's other applications. So you always want to stay in person, but I would don't ignore the new AI products that are coming out.
That's a great call out, Chance, and we could probably do an entire show just on AI technology, how it helps your business. I know I was never really opposed to it, but I know our fearless leader here at The Difference, Lendon, has adopted many AI practices and has warmed me up to the concept. So no, there's a lot of great stuff it can do. And yeah, as we get leaner as a smaller organization or larger, I think it gives even more leverage to the small business owners than it does the larger companies out there. So no, that's great ad. Awesome. Before we move on to our rapid fire, I don't want to cut anybody short. Does anybody else have any other thoughts on small businesses in Frisco?
Yeah, I'd love to chime in on this one, because
Yeah,
our experience is probably the total opposite of the real estate world. Business is booming for us. And I think to answer the question in short, the future of business in Frisco is becoming experience-based instead of transactional. So I think in the past, your name alone and your experience and what you've done in the past may have gotten you a sale. I think in the future, it's what experiences are you providing for people. I think the days of buying somebody a bottle of wine or putting some champagne or flowers on the desk, I think those days are over. I can't tell you how many doctors, offices, how many real estate agents are calling us and buying 4 or 5 tickets to give to a client or to give to prospective clients to host them at something in order to set themselves apart. So it leads into partnering. If you're still sitting in your desk waiting for your name to bring people in, I think those days are over. You got to get out and about. And I think that's why sports are thriving. I think sports are the easiest way to connect with the people. So we volunteer through Thrivent. We volunteer with Love Packs. And even the Army, all of these companies tag along with us to go volunteer. Frisco is becoming one of those places where people don't care about what you know until they know that you care about them. So if you're not out doing something and helping and providing an experience, I think that's where you'll continue to see your business kind of go on a decline. But if you can get out and provide some experiences like what Chance is doing with his networking, where people can remember you in a different way and tag your name to a different experience, I think that's the future of where Frisco is going to go. And I think that's why an indoor football team where people can come, they see advertisement at our game, someone invited you to our game, and you can actually meet the players, shake their hands, and get to know them. That provides a better experience than just asking someone to buy.
And I think
Andre,
sorry.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry, Kendra. I just wanted to say, dude, you nailed it too. You hit the nail on the head, and the whole relational versus transactional aspects of business. That we've talked about that from day one on the difference, whether it's a community show or whatever. I used to have a show, Real Talk. Kendra was on it. We've talked a lot about that across all the different shows and the different platform. And that's ultimately what we're all about, right? You're exactly right. The relationship-based business is going to succeed. The transactional-based business is not. Plain and simple.
And that's
I love
truly the old school. That's the old school way, is a relationship business. And that's what real estate, lending, that's truly how you're going to get your business and stay and thrive and survive this year, is be relational in a transactional world, but be relational.
Well, and Andre, you touched on it, and I'd be remiss if I didn't hit this point again. The fact that you guys have tickets available, and we, as the difference, will help you give out some of those tickets in order to do exactly what you're talking about, right? Build relationships, give them to clients, bring prospective clients, bring friends, bring family to the game to build those relationships. So, we'll have more details as we go on with the show. But know that if you want access to the Frisco Fighters, come talk to us at the difference, and we can help make that access more accessible. What's up, Paul? Good to see you chiming in, one of our fellow co-hosts. So thanks for chiming in there, Paul. Frisco veteran as well. So what I want to do now, assuming we don't have to go to commercial break, I haven't seen my red stop sign show up in my chat box. So what I'll do is I'll shift gears a little bit, unless anybody else wants to get one more point in on small businesses. Frisco.
I have a very short, quick ad.
Yeah, go for it.
Based off of what Andre said, my dad, he's the owner. I'm the owner, not in title, but in all the hats that I wear. And we do a lot of the in-person events. And we have had two business owners that actually are already partnered with meal prep companies tell us, I just can't believe that the owners are actually here doing the work. We are ready to cancel with them and switch to you right away. Just meeting us the first time. And so obviously you want to get to a point where you're delegating, and you're not always doing that, but still making that connection. The value that people place on you being willing to spend time and help them, it's just really exponential.
Yeah, that's a great point, and it's the old school sweat equity goes a long way, right?
Yeah.
No, that's an awesome point. Thank you, Madeline. Appreciate that ad. Okay, well, without further ado, we will get to the rapid fire segment of the show, and what that is I'm going to go around the horn, or I'm going to ask a question, and we're going to go around the horn, and you're going to answer very quickly and succinctly. This is thinking off the top of your head. These aren't pre-canned. These are all things that we're just going to think of on the fly. So first one, we've kind of sung all the praises of Frisco, if you will. I'm going to ask you guys as a group is, what is your least favorite thing about Frisco? And we'll go in order of my screen and ladies first. Madeline, we're going to start with you. And then we'll go Kendra, Andre, Chance, Jacqueline, and Brenda. So Madeline, you're up first.
Yeah. The traffic, how long it takes to get from one place to another sometimes.
Well, problem with growth, right? Kendra, what's your least favorite thing?
That we don't have a Whole Foods and we don't have a Trader Joe's.
Okay. Those may be solved in the future, but we'll see. Andre, what's yours?
I'll piggyback on traffic.
I can't disagree with you. Chance, what's yours?
Yeah, I'm going to say I'm a little nervous about this Universal and how the traffic's really going to. I know this zero impact thing is. I want to see it to believe it.
Okay, fair enough. Jacqueline, what you got?
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely say traffic is probably the biggest one, but there's a couple businesses that I feel like we're missing. I agree. Whole Foods, Trader Joe's, that kind of makes me a little bit sad, but I know they're coming.
Brenda, what's yours?
I have to go with traffic. And right now at the holiday season, traffic around the mall, that tops even the traffic issue.
Yeah, I do have to agree with that. That's a huge pain because I'm not
I
far
avoid
from there.
the area.
Yeah, that's a huge pain. All right, well, I can't skip out on the question. I'll weigh in on my answer, and that would be the lack of a good pizza place. Josh Dominguez, what's up, my friend?
Hey, that's not true. So if you're a New York pizza person, well, you may not be because you're Chicago, so never mind. But my husband is a New York pizza person, right? And Halo Pizzeria, which is in Frisco, they actually did this complicated thing with the water to make sure it's as close to New York water as they could get. So if you want true New York pizza, it's pretty dang good, guys, and it's in Frisco. So just saying.
Nice. Which one is it? What pizza place is it, Jacqueline?
It's called Halo.
Halo.
It's kind of on the border with Frisco and McKinney. It's off Panther Creek, I believe.
Okay. Have to try it then. Good to know.
Yes, ma'am.
And I want to reclassify or clarify my statement. There is no good Chicago style pizza place for sure. And there are very few good pizza places. So if you are looking for a business opportunity, I'll take a small percentage, but that's the $1 million idea right there.
I was going to say, yeah, you have to clarify on pizza because remind yourself there's New York, Chicago, and Detroit. My husband is from New York. My outfitters are from Detroit. And so they both claim two different pizza styles are the best, right?
Yeah. Well, to each their own. There's only one in my book, and that's Lou Malnati's Chicago Deep Dish Pizza. Boom. There you go. All right, next question. Now that we're on the topic of food, so what is your favorite place to eat in Frisco? And we'll go the same order. So Madeline, you're up.
Honestly, I'm a big coffee person, and that is my meal some days. My favorite place would be Detour Donuts. They're near us. It is a woman-owned business, and they have amazing coffee as well as like fancy, unique donuts.
Awesome. Kendra.
Gallo Nero behind us, near me, or Salsa Tex-Mex.
Love it. Andre.
It's a tough one. I think they know me by name at 54th Street, a good sports bar. They know me by name there, so I'd have to go there.
Chance.
All right, I'm going to give a shameless plug for the Rockin' Taco on Main Street. My buddy just opened it, and he'll be on in a few weeks. So I'm going to give a shout out for Rockin' Taco.
All right, I like that. I checked out his website, and it's an awesome concept. So more to come on that. That's the tease for next week.
Yep.
Jacqueline.
This is a toss-up for me. It's either Kenny's Burgers. I mean, I could eat there like literally every single day. Or Craftway Kitchen, which they've got one in both Frisco and Plano. Their food is phenomenal.
Awesome. Brenda.
I can second some of those food places. I love Gallo Nero. I would say Mi Cocina is always my favorite. Kendra's been there a million times with me. But Mi Cocina at all of their locations, they're all over the area. And then Three Forks is another favorite of mine that, came to Frisco not too long ago.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong with the Mambo taxi either. I mean,
That's so true.
You took my joke, Chance. I was
gonna say you gotta.
She's never eaten there. She's only had the Mambos, but it's the favorite place.
You better. Hey, for those of you who are not from Texas, you may want to note that the Mambo taxis have Everclear in them, so don't drink too many if you're a newbie to our area.
They used to only serve you 2, but I think now they'll let you have more. But used to be you can only have 2 of them.
That's what I'm saying. So if you're not from our area and you're thinking, "Ooh, I want to try the Mambo taxi that Chance recommended," just don't have too many, or you may not be able to get out
kick
of
you on your rear fast.
I've had a few friends have fallen down. Those will kind of sneak up on you, and especially in the younger years when they were sort of, I think even that for sure Everclear, sliding down the stairs in Highland Park or falling across, trying to leave. So probably shouldn't say
friends,
that.
Right?
Friends.
I heard stories about those folks.
Yeah. I don't hang out with them anymore.
No, never. Awesome. Well, after the show, maybe a few Mambo taxis and Miko Cena visit is in order. And my restaurant of choice, I can't remember who said it, but I think it was Jacqueline, Kenny's Burger Joint. That was, I think, the very first place I came to eat when I was traveling back and forth from Chicago to Plano, which is where I worked at the time. And we ate at Kenny's Burgers, and I said, "Man, this is the best freaking burger I've ever had." So
don't skip out on the truffle parmesan fries. Literally, if I'm on a diet, I have dreams about those fries, y'all. I'm like, oh, Kenny's truffle parmesan.
And their
fries.
fried pickles are some of the best.
Oh yeah,
they
their fried
really
pickles.
are.
I literally ate there yesterday.
Yeah, they are some of the very best. That was always one place that was always on the list that the boys would go. Yeah, when you have 3, they were choosing to eat somewhere.
Awesome. Well, those are absolutely all great choices. We've got time for probably at least one more question. So I'll get out of Frisco and go a little bit deeper. This is a little bit more philosophical. So if you could meet one person, living or dead, who would it be? So this one, you don't have much time to think, and I'm going to go in order of my screen because I forgot our original order. Brenda, you are up.
I knew I was going to be first. And you know who first comes to mind, and you all will laugh at me, and this will definitely age me? Prince.
Love it. Madeline.
I don't want to say mine.
You have to now.
Just say it. It's okay.
Okay.
We're not going to judge
There's no wrong answer.
I'm going to say it. I'm a singer-songwriter, okay? And I'm a businesswoman. So maybe I'll know where this is going. But Taylor Swift. Because not her stuff on the radio, but her actual stuff. She's an amazing lyricist, but she also has done so many creative, innovative things that have paved the way for other people. So I would want to meet her.
Love it. Love it. Kendra.
I have to say the same. Taylor Swift. Sorry for copying, but yeah, that's the first person that came to mind. She's very impressive, and she's just the crap she's gone through, and she's gotten through it, and she's gotten grief for it, but she's held her head high. And so she's impressive. Yeah, that's what I have to say. And my kids love her, which is really funny. My daughter-in-law walked down the aisle to one of her songs.
Awesome. Well, for the record, I'm not going to say Travis Kelce, but we'll say that another day. Jacqueline, who you got?
I probably would say the author of my favorite book, so Louise May Alcott. She wrote Little Women.
Awesome.
I'm a big time reader. So
love it. Chance?
Taylor Swift. What do you?
You're not getting out that easy. Come on.
Come on, Chance.
No, I would say I'm gonna be a little dorky. I do a lot of leadership training and whatnot, but I think one person would be like Abraham Lincoln.
Love it.
That'd be cool.
Andre, who you got?
Well, I went to Abraham Lincoln High School, so I support that in Philadelphia. But I think my person would be John Madden. I love people who are able to be successful in more than one career. So not only was he a Hall of Fame football coach, but he was also a Hall of Fame announcer. And he also has a business franchise through EA Sports with the football game that has his name on it. So even after his death, he's still providing for his family. So that's a guy I would love to sit down and learn from.
Awesome. And mine would be I'd love to sit down and have a coffee and then a coaching session with Kobe Bryant.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
That just gave me goosebumps. That's cool.
Awesome. All right. So what do we got? All right. This is going to have to be real quick because we're going to run out of time. But I do want to get one more in. So it doesn't require any explanation since we're short on time. But what's the most adventurous thing you've ever done? Brenda, you're first.
I'm not an overly adventurous person, but I spent some time in Japan, and I went with the do as the Romans do kind of thing. And so I literally ate things out of the ocean by cracking them on the rocks and rinsing it off and eating.
Nice.
Little crazy.
Gross, but nice.
Yeah.
Madeline?
Honestly, probably leaving all of my career fields of social media and mentoring kids to run 2 small businesses and open 2 locations at the same time.
That qualifies.
Yeah.
Kendra?
I'd say having to navigate getting myself and someone home from Athens, Greece, and being there on my own, but literally by myself for 10 days. So that was probably the most adventurous, but it wasn't by choice. It was just by force. But it was that was probably the most adventurous thing I've ever gone through. So.
Gotcha. Jacqueline?
I would say car camping in Iceland, like legitimately sleeping in the car. My husband and I, we drove the whole island. It was pretty cool.
Wow.
Awesome. Chance?
Looks like we're out of time. I would say I've been doing some stuff like floating the rivers in Costa Rica, doing some of that, going through like the little waterfalls, and that was pretty fun.
Awesome. Andre?
I would say being a Philadelphia Eagles fan and moving to Frisco, Texas.
Yeah, that's a lot of
that's
adventure
very
there.
adventurous. That is
You are living
very adventurous. Quite.
It's probably better that way than the flip side. Dallas Cowboy in
For
Philly.
sure.
Right.
For sure.
Clothes and
I was gonna
batteries would
say-
be coming your way if that was the case.
Well,
I think the most adventurous would be you going to a Dallas Cowboys game with an Eagles jersey on.
I do every year. It's the friendliest place.
There you
on
go.
earth.
Exactly. Sure, they love that. They love that.
Awesome. Well, I guess real quick, mine would be backpacking the Grand Canyon, going all the way down and up, living out of off of my back for like 4 days straight. So.
Oh wow.
That's mine. All right. Well, that being said, so good rapid fire round. I always love those because the answers that come out totally off the top of head and not scripted. So thanks for sharing, guys. Thank you for being on the show. What I want to do is go around the horn real quick. I want you all to just remind the audience who you are, how to get in touch with you, who you are, what you do, and how to get in touch with you. Brenda, we'll start with you. We're going to go guests first. I'd say ladies first, but all our guests are ladies. So Brenda, we'll go Brenda, Madeline, and then our lady hosts, and then we'll go with our male co-host last. So Brenda, you're up first.
Okay, great. I am Brenda Thompson. I'm the broker, owner, CEO of Home Smart Stars. It's a real estate brokerage. We have about 120 agents, not only in the DFW area, but all across Texas. So we can help you with real estate needs pretty much anywhere in Texas, or I can refer you somewhere else across the country as well. You can reach me at brenda@homesmartstars.com. My personal website is brendathompsonbroker.com. And I think that's probably it. Yeah. And I'm all over social media. So find me on social too.
Awesome. Thanks, Brenda. Madeline.
Yeah, I am Madeline Smith. I am the social media manager and store director for Project Lean Nation Frisco. We are healthy prepared meals. You can get them in store or delivered. We also have progress tracking and nutritional coaching. So we're more than just the food. We're really a whole holistic approach to reach your goals. You can find us at projectleannation.com. Or if you want to be linked to our menu and our website, but also see all the fun stuff that we do, see fun reels of the meals, follow us on Instagram at projectleannation_Frisco.
Beautiful. Thank you, Madeline. Kendra, you're up.
Kendra Kennedy. I'm with Stewart Title. I basically work with all of our different offices throughout the Collin County, Denton County, Dallas County area. I sit in Richardson. However, like I said, we work with everyone in our community. But you can reach me at Kendra, my first name, Kennedy, last name, at Stewart.com. And also on social media at the Stewart Title Richardson. But I'm all over there, and we're just ready to get some contracts done and closed and have a great 2024.
Let's do it. Jacqueline, you're up.
I am Jacqueline Kreider with PBJ Mortgage, and we are trying to make the mortgage process simple. Simple is making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. You can find us either on our website at pbjteam.com, or you can reach me at jkreider, Crider, at pbjteam.com. You can also call my cell, which is going to be 469-766-4811, and we would always be happy to help.
All right. Thanks, Jacqueline. Chance, you're up.
You don't want to see me. If you see me, you're hurt. But I'm at Preston and Lebanon at the emergency room, so don't come and see me. But if you do, it's Preston and Lebanon when you get hurt.
Awesome. Great sales pitch. Andre, you're up.
That's awesome as a football coach. My name is Andre Coles. I'm with the Frisco Fighters indoor football team. Failed to mention that we are managed by the Dallas Stars. So professional means professional. We're managed by the Dallas Stars. So everything that you see done for us is done by them. I can be reached personally at acoles@dallasstars.com, or you can find more information about our team at friscofighters.com.
Awesome. Well, thank you all for being on the show today. Great show, great topic, and you guys all nailed it with your insights. So thank you all for sharing today. Have a wonderful Merry Christmas. Happy New Year if I don't talk to you before then. But once again, we're on next week, same time, 2:30 Thursday. We will be airing in between the holidays. So if I don't talk to you before then, have a Merry Christmas. And if I do talk to you next week, we'll do a New Year's episode. So with that, take care, guys.
Take care. Merry Christmas.
Thank you for watching today's show.
The Community Difference Frisco is made possible by Brian Poduska, owner of Real Property Management Focus, Paul Fisher, loan officer with Certainty Home Lending, Steve Wood with Smart Safe Retirement, Kendra Kennedy with Stewart Title, Stephen Pine, partner with Patterson Insurance, Matt England, Director of Corporate Partnerships, and Andre Coles, head coach of the Frisco Fighters Arena football team. Debbie Watson with Team Watson Redeemers. Sonia Lowry with Gaston Investments and Development. Chance Post with Total Care. Jacqueline Kreider with PBJ Mortgage. The Community Difference Frisco. Together, we can make the difference.